And all new here at 5. Now that Tropical Storm Isaias is getting closer to the coast, now is the time people begin to think about insurance and wonder, am I covered? Well, when you think of a hurricane, you probably think wind, but it's the rising water that can be the most deadly and costly. Consumer investigative reporter Bill McGinty here now with why flood insurance is so overlooked. Bill.
Yeah, hey there, Fred. You know, what people don't realize about floods is that they are the most common and they are the costliest natural disaster out there. For example, in 2016, there were 36 disasters declared in just 4 storms, totaling $4 billion. So this is indeed the most costly, and that's why flood insurance is such a key player in avoiding this.
Let's start with just one fact. Rising water, just 1 inch of it, can cause $25,000 worth of damages to your house. That's just an inch, and you don't need a hurricane to cause that kind of damage. I met Jeff back in May when a block city of Charlotte storm drain flooded his home 9 times. Jeff doesn't live in a designated flood zone, yet the unthinkable happened.
Homeowners said that this is not their problem.
Flood insurance is a national program, but you can buy policies through many different carriers, maybe even yours. But you have to inquire about it if you want one. In North Carolina, the average cost of a yearly flood policy is about $814. That's just $68 a month. In South Carolina, it's cheaper at $671 a year. Steve Shatner is with Nationwide.
Is it out of pocket for most people?
Completely out of pocket. Yep, there's nothing. There's no coverage in any policy that with any carrier. It's all national flood. So if you don't have flood insurance, you've just got absolutely nothing. And the definition of flood is rising water. It's also water that comes up. So, you know, if you have a pipe burst or if you have, you know, something like that, that's covered because that's basically water coming down. But any water that's rising is not covered. And it's also landslides and mudslides.
And waiting until there is a storm on the radar is not going to help you. Policies are not written once a storm gets a name.
So, Fred, you saw there that I mentioned the cost of these policies in North Carolina, the average cost about $814. I got an email after I presented some information at 4 o'clock. One viewer saying that his flood insurance was actually $2,500,
Wow.
but he lived near a tributary or a creek. So that number can fluctuate wildly. If you live down on the coast, it's going to be a lot more. If you live in an area that doesn't really have a flood-prone problem and you still want a policy, it might be a lot less, might be a couple of $100. So there can be some wild swings in the pricing, but I'll tell you what, you saw what happened when that block storm drain sent water up into that man's house. He doesn't have flood insurance, and now he's debating with the city about what to do about this and who's actually responsible. So I'll keep you posted on that as well.
And an important distinction on the water rising versus the water coming down into your house. Very important for homeowners to know. Bill, thank you for that.